This is Artful Discourse, your weekly escape into the vibrant world of creativity, culture, and intellectual exploration. I'm your host, Benjamin Kirk, and I invite you to join me on a journey through the rich tapestry of human thought and the beating heart of artistic expression at Fresno State's College of Arts and Humanities. The Fresno State Marching Band has been scheduled to perform at the 2025 Rose Parade again. This is their second appearance after their stunning performance in January 2023. The Bulldog Marching Band is recognized by the College Band Directors National Association as one of the top 8 college marching bands in the United States. So today it's really exciting. We have 3 students joining us, so stick around. They're going to hear what it's like to be a Bulldog Marching Band member and what they're looking forward to at the Rose Parade and other activities when they go down south. So welcome, first of all, Caleb.
Hello.
And you're with, you're part of the marching band?
Yeah, and I'm in the Colorguard.
Okay, and Elli?
Hello.
And?
I am a Piccolo member.
And Danielle?
Hello. I'm one of the drum majors.
All right, so I want to get to know everybody a little bit. So just kind of say your name again, even though we said it already. Your major, when you expect to graduate, and then one thing you'd like to accomplish after you graduate, like say within 5 years or so.
My name is Caleb Benson. I am a psychology major. I'm expecting to graduate next spring, 2025. And one thing I'm hoping to achieve after I finish undergrad is going into grad school.
All right, and what do you plan to do at grad school?
Getting my master's in counseling and my PPS credential for K through 12 school counseling.
Fantastic. And you plan to come back to the Valley, stay here?
For work?
Yeah.
Yeah, work here for a year and then move away.
Okay. And Elli?
I am, sorry.
Name, major, when do you expect to graduate?
I'm Elli Lyznick. My major is speech pathology, and I'm expecting to graduate in fall of 25, so in a year from now. I also intend to go to grad school and get my master's in speech pathology. And after that, I just like to start working, stay in the Valley. I really want to work with elementary school kids.
Fantastic. And Danielle?
My name's Danielle Densmore. I'm a music education major, and I'm also supposed to graduate in spring of 25. After this year, I'd like to apply to different grad schools to get my master's in music education. But before that, I'm planning on taking a gap year so I can travel to different countries and visit all of my friends and family in different parts of the U.S.
All right. How long have each of you been part of the Bulldog Marching Band?
I've been in the Bulldog Marching Band since 2021.
I've been in the Bulldog Marching Band since 22, so 3 years now.
Okay.
I also joined the Bulldog Marching Band in 2021.
So all of you went to the Rose Parade in 23 then?
Yeah.
How was that? How did that feel to be in that parade?
It was a big experience. Very different performing on such like a large stage,
Mm-hmm.
like nationally, but it was a really great experience.
Anybody else? Is
Um,
there anything that stood out to you when you were marching down that? For one, it's really long, right?
yeah, I remember being about halfway through the parade, and Mr. McKeithen stood like right in the middle, and he was like, "You're halfway done, guys," and I was like, "We're only halfway done." But it was a great experience.
I was going to say I loved how much of a community event it is, that even though it's on a really large, like, national and worldwide scale of this parade, like, everyone in the area comes out to watch,
Yeah.
and there are so many supportive fans of the parade that even though it is 7 miles of long parade stretch, you are energized that entire time.
And there's some neighborhoods and stuff that goes through too, right? It's not just. I think on television we all see the corner, but that's just a small part of it. Just a small part. It actually kind of goes through, and people are able to sit in their yards, and families come out, and yeah.
I actually really enjoyed that aspect of it because kids come to the edge of the parade and they like reach out their hand and they like you give them high fives and it's just like a really good like experience.
So our dean Dr. Honora Chapman, she is from Pasadena, and she grew up watching the parade go by
Mhm.
her front yard. Yeah.
Yeah, it was really interesting, like, the route that it took. It went past, like, storefronts. People were on top of buildings,
Mhm.
like, store buildings, like, watching us. It was pretty crazy.
So the Bulldog Marching Band has been invited to perform again at the Rose Bowl. What are your feelings about it? I mean, we talked about the large stage, national television. What are you excited about?
Um, I'm most excited to perform a different parade tune this time. Uh, and then also I'm excited to just go straight through the parade. Last time we had a stop, we were a featured band, so we stopped in the middle of the parade and turned to the grandstands and performed some other songs for them. And then we turned around and kept going. But this time we'll be going straight through, so it's gonna be a different experience.
Hmm. You're not stopping
Yeah.
to perform. Oh, interesting. Can you give us a sneak peek on the song, or is that kind of a surprise at this point?
Um, I don't know. I don't
Okay, well
know.
let's not answer that. I don't want to get into any trouble. We'll just tell people you need to stay tuned
Yeah.
on January 1st,
Mhm.
right? And New Year's Day, and watch the Rose Parade to watch the Bulldog Marching Band.
I will say that our parade song this year is in honor of a marching band member who passed away in the
Mhm.
spring of last year.
Mm.
So it is something that we're holding close to us, and we're actually going to make space for him in our Rose Parade block.
Wow.
So it's really special that we get to do this tune at the Rose Parade.
You want to tell me more about that?
Yeah, we had a member, his name was Peter, and he was like the spirit of marching band. He was probably the most excited for everything that you could imagine. And he had just such great energy. So we're really trying to carry that into this year as we go
Mhm.
back to the Rose Parade, this time without him, trying to make sure that we keep that momentum going and that we're able to kind of show the love of marching band that he showed us to other people.
And that's fantastic. That's really touching. I'm glad. And the Bulldog Marching Band really does feel like a family. A couple weeks ago, for the first time, I was able to. I've been out to the practices before, but I was out there for a full practice, and I had never been to the end of a practice before, and it really kind of struck me how how family like it was, and specifically, there was announcements made, and the announcements were very, you know, sometimes a little personal for large, birthdays and things like that. But there was also the spirit stick,
Mhm.
which I thought was a lot of fun. So let's get into that. I actually had this for later in the show, but let's go ahead and, since we're talking about, tell me a little bit about the spirit stick and what it is, and have you had a chance to interact or decorate the spirit stick?
Yeah.
so so last year we brought back the spirit stick. It was a tradition from like 2019 and previous years, but basically what it is every week they are awarded this stick, and the section who is shown the most participation and overall school spirit and is just really attentive during rehearsal gets the chance to have the stick for a week, and you add an item.
So just really quick, describe the stick. When you say it's a stick, it's not just a little twig or something. Like
It's a 6-foot PVC pipe.
okay.
So it starts as this blank PVC pipe, and it's almost like a game of telephone. Every time it gets passed around, something else gets added until you don't recognize how it started. Right now, there is currently a drum harness. There's someone made a felt goose that sits on top.
Mhm.
Um, Last year, they cemented the pole into like 50 pounds of cement in a bucket, and then we had to deal with that for a while. So it's really open to interpretation, and it's very competitive, and it
Oh.
allows people to have a not that you need an extra motivation to have fun at marching band, but it is an extra little like sprinkle on top of motivation to have fun.
Yeah.
Does anybody else have anything to add? Can you have any of you added stuff to the stick, and can you tell me what that was?
Yeah, so the Piccolo section got it the second week, I believe. So that was after the saxophones. The saxophones added the goose head on top. And one of our members, she loves to make little friendship bracelets, and so every section is assigned a color. and the Piccolo section is orange, and so she made an orange friendship bracelet, and that's like the goose's necklace.
The color guard, we've added a retired uniform from a previous season, and that's the goose's outfit now.
Ah, okay. All right. So, in addition to the Rose Parade, as you head down to Pasadena, you're also going to be performing in the Tournament of Roses Band Fest. So, tell me what happens at Band Fest. How is it different from the parade performance?
Um, Bandfest is so much fun. That is the one like highlight I remember from the last time we did it. We show up, we get dressed, and we warm up. Well, last year it was pouring rain, and so we warmed up in a parking garage, or 2 years ago it was pouring rain, and we warmed up in a parking garage. And then we couldn't wear our plumes which are the feathers that sit in our hats, and because it was raining so hard, and we went out and we rocked it, and I that is like the highlight of my experience when we went to the Rose Parade. I loved Bandfest, and because the energy from the parents, from just everyone in the audience is incredible.
Yeah. Now, Band Fest is the field show component, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. And is it a competition or is it more of an exhibition?
It's more of an
Yeah.
exhibition.
Okay. Yeah. And other bands I take it, are involved.
Mhm.
And do you get to interact with the other band members? Is that something or?
Maybe if it wasn't pouring rain, we
Yeah.
would have gotten
Yeah.
a little more interaction. But we did get a lot of extra crowd interaction. During Bandfest, there's this element called pass and go. When you're done performing your field show, you like march around the track. And I think it's pass and go, make sure you can do your tune. But I think it's also just more of a ceremonious thing to show what you're doing. But since it was pouring rain last year, we ended up lapping the track probably like 4, 5 times. So we got lots of interaction with parents and crowd in the incoming high schools.
Yeah.
So
All right. Now, this year's Rose Parade theme is Best Day Ever. Can you give us a little sneak peek into the performance you have planned?
Um.
This is kind of along the lines of the songs, so maybe you can't, but I thought.
Well, I will say that the song is very upbeat. Um, and I think that'll be a great way to honor Peter and the energy that he gave. So I think that'll contribute. Um, the choreography that we have for the color guard also is really fun and expressive. So I think it'll all just be like a really exciting energy.
How does the band prepare for the Rose Parade and other large events? I know that working here, I see band members coming in the summer before the semester even starts. So kind of walk me through the process. What goes into getting ready for the Rose Parade and all your other live performances? Because I assume they're all kind of linked in some way.
one of the big things that we started with really early in this season is a program called Marching Health. The Rose Parade route is really long, and even though it's just a march, it's still really physically challenging since you are marching and playing, and a lot of the times dancing over that 7-mile stretch. So one of the first things we started was this program that's like a workout program specifically designed for marching band students that was created by professionals that work with drum corps, which is like professional marching band. So they came out and worked with us over the summer, and a lot of us came and learned from them. And we've been implementing this program like every single rehearsal over the last couple months to kind of help us physically. And then last week, to help with the actual Rose Parade um, structure itself, we were out there painting lines onto our field so we can really perfectly map out that turn since it is kind of an awkward swing.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think. I want to say it's like 135 degrees. Is that what it is? Do you guys remember what it's
105.
105, 105. Okay, so it's longer than a 90 degree. It's a really sharp bend. Yeah. And you have to negotiate that while you're in lines.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you bring up the fitness part of it is interesting too, because 7 miles. If I were to go out for a 7-mile hike or a 7-mile walk, that's a pretty substantial. It's going to take me, a few hours, probably a couple
And then
hours.
add a heavy instrument and a like 15-pound cotton uniform. and it's
That's what
just-
I was thinking. You have
Yeah.
the big old uniform that's pretty heavy and formal, and then the big hat, and then the big instrument, and except for you play piccolo, but
Lucked out on that one. I can't complain.
Are you able to handle the piccolo for 7 miles though?
Yeah,
Okay.
The only thing is that that awkward arm position.
Oh, yeah,
It
yeah.
starts to hurt your shoulders a little
Mhm.
bit, but I'm not gonna complain. No. That battery holding all those like 10-pound drums. I got it easy. I'm all good.
Yeah, right. It could be what the big sousaphone or tubas,
Yeah.
or the quad drums. I think that would be. Oh. So let's talk a little bit about just like football. I think most people have probably seen the Bulldog marching band at football games, and that's where they know you from. But on game day is actually a pretty involved process.
Mhm.
And here's what I know, and you guys can fill in the blank a little bit. Ask you about each of that, but on game day, there's generally a practice, right? Then you march down the street to the stadium while playing.
Yeah.
So you kind of shut down Cedar Avenue and go right down the road. And then you split up and do your tailgate thing.
Yep.
And then you go to the game. And so it's how long how long is a game day for you guys?
Oh,
It could be like 12 hours plus.
Wow.
yeah.
Especially if it's when we have the morning rehearsal with the small break. That's like a 15, 16-hour day.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Wow. So what time would you typically get here on a? Well, I guess if you have it sounds like sometimes you have a morning rehearsal, sometimes not.
Well,
We always have a morning
Yeah.
rehearsal,
Okay.
no matter what. It just depends on where it is. Sometimes we're in the stadium. Recently, we've been on the practice field because we've had like band day, so we have other bands coming and joining us. Or we have alumni band, so um, it's just easier to do at the practice field. But because it was an earlier start time for those games, we only got like a half-hour break in between,
Mm.
and so we rehearsed for 2 hours, and then we all basically just made our trek over to the music building so we could eat lunch, get ready, warm up, head on over.
Right. And then you line up in the parking lot, right? What's the route?
When there's no construction,
Yeah.
we start down this can't remember the name of this access road in between Kremen and the music building.
Okay, yeah,
And so you'll march down the road, and then you'll take that right-hand turn
into the parking lot.
into that parking
Yeah.
lot, and then we condense because our block is pretty wide, so we'll kind of shrink up, and we'll go by the dining hall and the dorms,
Okay.
and then it spits us out on that access road by the dorm parking lot, and then right turn onto Cedar and left turn onto Bulldog Lane.
Okay, and then into the stadium,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep, into the tailgate lots we go.
and then you split up, right? So tell me about that, because there's 3 drum majors. Is that correct? And then so how does that work?
So there's 3 different drum majors. So we generally take 3 different zones. One of our drum majors will go to White Lot and we'll tailgate there, and then one of us will go to like the North Red Lot, and one will go to the Lower Red Lot. And so we'll just pick a couple tunes, try and hit couple different spots, and then usually in each of those lots we have some sponsors that request us, and so we'll go make sure they get attention and
Mm-hmm.
just have a good time.
Yeah, and for Colorguard, how is that? Because it almost looks like it's a little bit less formal and maybe a little bit more interaction with people.
Mhm.
I've seen kids out there dancing and
Mhm.
everything, and with Colorguard people. So tell me a little bit about that perspective.
Yeah, so we still go with our flags, but we put them down. So we're not spinning anything. We have dances for each of the tunes that we play. And we'll either be like on the sides of the arc that the band forms or in the center. Sometimes the dance team is with us. So that kind of adds to the energy. And yeah, we'll have people that try to like get their kids to come and dance with us, or they're trying to do the dances at the same time. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah. It, so then you all come together, I assume, and go into the game, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
We oh, we meet along the side of the stadium on the inside.
Mhm.
And then we get in our block. We march down the ramp, and we have a new set that we brought back this season. I think it's called the dog pound? I could be wrong though. But the marching band lines up on the end zone and we play some of our popular tunes. The dance team and the cheer team are with us. And it's just to kind of encourage people to come into the stadium uh, to see us for pregame.
Okay. And then is there a field show at the beginning? Yeah,
We
yeah,
perform something. Well, we call it pregame, but it
yeah,
is before the game. So
yeah.
I guess that's
And then the halftime performance.
Mhm.
Is the halftime performance different for every game?
Not for every game.
Okay.
At the beginning of the season, we do one show. So for this season, we did the Sun Show, which was like walking on
Yeah,
sunshine.
yeah.
And that was a lot of fun. And then after 2 games, we switched over into our Latin show now.
I love the guitar in the Latin show. I've only seen the practice. I haven't actually seen a performance yet. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing that. I don't know if you're playing that on the next.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, yeah. So I'll probably see it the next time around. But I saw it in practice, and oh my god, that's a lot of fun.
We'll be facing the away side though, just so you know if you have to like make your way over
Mm.
for that halftime
We
performance.
should be doing the full show, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the whole
Yeah.
thing, but not to the home side.
Oh, why is that?
Well, we usually switch every game between home and away,
Mm.
but because our last two halftime performances were the alumni band and the band day, we were just facing the home side.
Mhm.
Okay. I feel like I'm always on the other side anyway.
On the away side?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. Because that's the side that where the well, is it?
Yeah,
I'm trying to think.
the student section, and usually we get a lot of really big supporters on the backside
Mhm.
Yeah,
side
yeah.
too. So it's fun to face that way every once in a while because they're very enthusiastic.
Yeah, that is the student sections kind of on that side.
Mhm.
Yeah. Student section's a lot of fun to be in too. All right. And you guys are right next to the student section,
Mhm.
so
Mhm.
you kind of get that vibe going back and forth with it. So how is that vibe during the game?
It the I think that we have like a really energetic student section compared to other schools that I visited during like their college football games. Um, yeah, the energy is just really great, and it's fun being next to them because it doesn't feel like we're separated from like the other college students. Like I feel like we're all together in it.
Yeah.
They always try to start the wave, and
Yeah.
and if they start it our direction, we always try to help them, but it doesn't always take.
To be honest, I've had the good seats, the 50-yard line seats. I would rather be in the student section. I've been in the student section before. Oh my god, that's a lot of fun. Really is, really is. And your Bulldog marching band obviously is a big part of that, and so I think it's well appreciated. Now, the Bulldog marching band is the largest student organization on campus,
Hmm.
Mhm.
and I think it's great because while we're doing this out of the College of Arts and Humanities, and we do have a music student here, we also have other students. So we have students from all across the university. I think they represent just about every college and department.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's it like just to be part of the band? I know that's kind of a big question, but
Yeah, I know. I have a lot of friends in the marching band that are a part of the Bulldog Beat, so that's like the scholarship band,
mhm.
and so they are a part of that, and subsequently have to be in the Bulldog marching band. So just being in the marching band just because is a different experience. Uh, I don't have to worry about like playing an instrument any other time
Mhm.
of the day or like anything related to the school of music or like the music building. And I come in and then I leave.
Yeah, yeah. Well, maybe I should ask, what's the why? Wh- Obviously, Danielle, you're a music major, but for why do you do it? What drives you to be part of that?
So I've done band almost my whole life. Like when I was little, I started on piano, and then when I like could do ensembles, I started playing flute, and then I play piccolo for
Hmm.
BMB. And it when I moved to Fresno, because I'm not from Fresno, gave me a place where I knew I would have a family and friends. And I wasn't so afraid to start college anymore because I knew I would immediately have those connections. Because that first week of band camp, you're with each other like, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. And it's just like you bond really fast, and it makes you feel a lot less alone. And it, for me, because I'm not a music student, it also gives me that outlet to be able to keep pursuing music,
Mm-hmm.
but without it being like my job or something that I that turns into less of a hobby.
Yeah.
It's a way for me to still do music and have fun rather than it becoming. I
Where,
don't know.
where are you from?
I'm from Santa Clarita, so 3
Okay.
hours south.
I think you talked about some of the rewards with it. Are there any challenges that go along with it as well?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of challenges. You have those days where it's can be like the best day ever, and you have those days where it's like, okay, I'm tired. I think I really need to go home. I just especially this semester, I'm the head section leader for Piccolos, and that changed a couple elements around, like when you join the leadership team for B&B, it changes a couple elements because now you are kind of not in charge, but kind of in charge.
Yeah.
But you have a lot more responsibility, and like you're responsible for making sure I have 21 people in my section, and I'm responsible for making sure 21 people know their music, know how to march, know like how to do all of our fundamentals correctly. And so there are those stresses and those challenges. And
So there's a strong leadership aspect to it as
Mhm.
well. And I know you as a drum major also do that. Do you find that as well in with your color guard?
Yeah, especially now that this is like my fourth season. Um, there's a lot more responsibility with like newer members and helping them learn our choreography, um, our procedures. So that's a big undertaking during band camp. And yeah, the pressure's on a little bit, but I think we have a really great leadership team and a really great support system with the band council, and we work really well together.
Yeah. All right. And we are about out of time. I really appreciate you guys coming down and talking with me today. You're going to want to tune into the Rose Parade on January 1st and look for the Bulldog Marching Band
Yeah.
Yeah.
marching down the street in Pasadena, turning that really sharp corner, and playing fantastic music because you guys sound so good this year. And even Steve McKeithen, he's been saying this is one of the best sets of students he's had in probably a decade. So you guys are really doing a fantastic job. So I appreciate you coming down. And all right, I'll see everybody next week for another edition of Artful Discourse. Artful Discourse is a production of the College of Arts and Humanities at California State University, Fresno. The dean is Dr. Honora Chapman. This program is written, directed, and produced by me, Benjamin Kirk, the college's communication specialist. The theme song for Artful Discourse is Maiden Voyage by Fresno State music professor Benjamin Boone from his album, Joy. More information about his music can be found at benjaminboone.com. Special thanks to KFSR and FSR Underground General Manager Julie Lindahl for making this show possible. You can learn more about the College of Arts and Humanities and find an archive of our shows at our website, cah.fresnostate.edu, or on our blog, fresnostatecah.com.